Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Pixel Tea. My name is Yolanda. It's good to have all of you here. For those of you who decide to come in the future, hello and welcome. Hi, Dom. Thanks for stopping by. Live and learn. Good to see you. Much love, fools and tools. If anybody could just let me know if you can hear me, I'd appreciate it. And if there's any background noise in my mic. In today's stream, we will be looking into electromagnetism of the sun. And I will be sharing videos that were impactful on this topic. The sun is truly a powerhouse of electromagnetic activity, impacting not just our planet, but the entire solar system. Electromagnetism is a branch of physics that deals with the study of electric and magnetic fields and their interactions. It is a fundamental force of nature, responsible for many of the phenomena we experience in our everyday lives. I will be sharing videos from a truly amazing content creator by the name of FPV Angel and his team. With beautiful animations and with clear and precise explanations. I highly suggest reviewing his channel. You will be truly mesmerized by the connections and revelations made by FPV and his team. I'm honored to have come across these sacred teachings and the knowledge I've attained from FPV Angel and the APM research. I've recently come across another channel by the name of Ra, the Path of the Sun God. I enjoyed learning about the worship of Ra that was established during the Old Kingdom of Egypt around 2600 BC until the Roman period of ancient Egypt, 30 BCE, 646 CE. 646 CE, Ra became one of the most important gods in ancient Egyptian religion during the 5th dynasty. Ra was the creator of all other gods and humans and was believed to have ruled as the first pharaoh of ancient Egypt. He was also central to the ideology of kingship. Enjoy this creation story from this time period. Throughout history, sun worship has been a prominent practice across many civilizations, with cultures viewing the sun as a life-giving deity, often associating it with power, kingship, and the source of light and warmth, leading to the creation of sun gods and rituals centered around the solar cycle. Rulers were sometimes seen as direct descendants of the sun god. This pattern often involved buildings, temples aligned with the sun's movement, and performing ceremonies during solstices and equinoxes. So let's go ahead and share this other screen here. I'd like to show you, this is what FPV Angel's channel looks like. This is the description of his channel. O people of the world, how we have been duped, how we have been divided, conquered, and grouped. You know zero gravity to be a lie, so ask yourself what holds the sun and moon in the sky. The sun and moon's paths, there is only one answer. The electromagnetics is the magical dancer. The halos guide them high in the sky. From the underworld, our angels never lie, projecting their particles with hot coils for fuel. They follow their laws, always the rule. Our ancestors left for us all the clues. Simply decode them to take away those blues. For then you will see the magnificence and glory all wrapped up inside many a story. When you realize this, your spirit will rise, the construct of reality with many a surprise. If the secrets be what you wish to see, use the rainbows and you shall find me. The truth must be told. Don't be shy. Be righteous and bold, and most of all, don't lie. And I think that that's a very powerful description of this channel. He really has an outstanding display of information. He uses a lot of sacred teachings, particularly the Book of Enoch. And he has created animations to help educate us and bring us to the awareness of how the Creator's creation works. And I really enjoy watching his and listening in on his content. Thank you, Fools and Tools, for letting me know that you can hear me okay. And here is the other channel. Ra, the path of the sun god. And in this channel's description, it says, Ra, the path of the sun god, is an exploration of ancient Egyptians' creation myths using the design conventions of the period. Ra was commissioned by Channel 4 in 1984. The film was designed in 3 sections. Part 1, Dawn, tells of the creation of the cosmos, culminating in the foundation of the land of Egypt. Part 2, Noon, follows the birth, sacred induction, and death of the pharaoh. And Part 3 shows the path of the dead king through the underworld on his way to joining the gods of the afterlife. So isn't it a coincidence that it sounds like FPV's description is very similar? And for those who come and visit me and listen in on my channel, I enjoy pattern recognition. So I thought that that was interesting. Let's go ahead and play our first video from FPV. And in this description of this particular video, it is called APM Research, the Sun Halo System 3D Model, plus the Scarab Beetle Decoded. It says here, I thought I would release this as a separate small clip so people can mirror or share, download it to help them see which parts of the sun's halo system can be seen at various times and to look out for them. Feel free to take screenshots so you can look for the parts being revealed, or include the image in your own video to help others. There is much more to see as the construct reveals itself. Eyes to the skies, people. This is an electromagnetic projection from below. Ancient terminology, angel. Modern terminology, a particle accelerator. I hope you all enjoy.
This is the current model I have been recreating of our Sun's halo system. Its technological configuration, which we have been privileged to see being revealed in the heavens. Remember, revelations simply means the construct reveals itself in the end times, the end of a cycle we have covered in our End Times Decoded videos. What we are seeing are various parts of the Sun's actual projector system being highlighted. Many parts of the solar boat's technological workings being projected, as well as the Sun's image. The Sun is attached to, or is a part of, the large horizontal halo. It is this that epicycles across our sky. Of course, its physical model is doing the same movements below. The scarab beetle represents this vehicle below, which is why the scarab beetle was considered sacred. It has very special meaning, and we can see why now. The scarab beetle decoded. It represents the solar boat, the Sun's vehicle that is projecting our Sun's halo system and image. Although I use the word projection, it is more than that. It can physically interact with the environment around it, converting elements to matter as it goes. They all operate on this same principle. The Moon also has this same halo configuration, but appears to be doing a reverse role. Watch them in the sky, people. You will see and capture these very special reveals sooner or later. This is what they are trying to hide, the true nature of our realm and how it really works. So we have a large horizontal halo which contains 8 nodal points, which we have previously referenced in many decodings, of which are doing different functions. We have a smaller horizontal halo at node 1, which is where the Sun's image seems to be originating from. At the front is a vertical halo, which is obviously involved in producing a vortex, which is used to start the Sun generating its solar image. This one connects to the large horizontal halo at nodes 2 and 8. The two nodes we usually see either side of the Sun, and is working in conjunction with the larger vertical halo we see at nodes 3 and 7. This larger vertical halo is usually noticed by its show of colours produced in the visible spectrum, which reveals its electromagnetic nature. You can view various captures of the Sun's halos on our Sun Halo Focus videos here on my channel. A big thank you go out to all those people who have sent in their very special captures of this amazing revelation. There is much more to see yet. Eyes to the skies, people.
So, I have been taking photos of that construct myself, and I think I have loaded it onto my community page when that happened. It happened around Christmas, and that whole construct revealed itself in the sky all the way to the crown. So, FPV just mentioned that revelations in the end times, the construct will reveal itself again, and it seems to be revealing itself. So, eyes to the sky, folks. And if you take your pictures, part of his decode is finding what he calls the angels in their locations, which is the key signature is the rainbow. And when he does his live streams, and I think even in his description, he has a Discord page. And it's a really fun Discord page to have these discussions and to share these locations. So let's see here. Now we're going to go ahead and play the next video. And it's a pretty long video, so if you tap in and out, I hope you enjoy. And it is the creation story of ancient Egypt. And let's read the description here. Oops. It's really beautiful. That's what really caught my attention is that it has the bioluminescent animation just like FPV uses and like I use in my AI art. So I hope you all enjoy it. It says here 4 years in the making, Raw was created and shot entirely in Glasgow by Persistent Vision Animation, Scotland's only animation studio at the time. The film combines traditional animation techniques with special optical effects to produce a dreamlike evocation of ancient Egyptian beliefs about the creation and man's place within it. The first part of the film is given over to the Egyptian Genesis. The Egyptians had many gods and goddesses and creation myths. Ra brings these myths together in a single version and concentrates on the story of Osiris and Isis and their battle with their evil brother Set. Part 2 shows the intertwining of the world of the gods with that of the divine pharaoh, whom the ancient Egyptians believed to be the son of the sun god Ra. The life of the divine pharaoh is depicted as a journey through the rituals which surrounded his initiation into temple life. In death, the pharaoh continues his journey in the underworld in the boat of the sun god Ra, traveling through the 12 hours of night and conquering the powers of darkness before being resurrected at the dawn of the new day. I really enjoy studying creation myths of ancient cultures, and that's where we find the coincidences and the similarities of the same creation myths. And each new epoch comes up with a new creation story, and it seems to me like we potentially will be coming into a new creation story. So sit back, enjoy, and I will see you in a bit.
Before all time, there was the noon, a sea of chaos, where all forms of what was to be lay hidden. Within the heart of the living noon stirred the spirit of the waters, the great snake, Apep. From the coils of Apep sprang Atum, the first god of creation, and the one became two. Apep embraced Atum in his coils, binding tightly to his second nature, trying to become one with himself again. But Atum transformed himself in the folds of Apep into the scarab god of becoming and broke free of his embrace. Apep, the serpent of chaos, fought to return with Atum to the heart of the noon. But Atum overpowered Apep. Lying now alone in the waters, Atum thought of his children to be. In his heart he created their names and spoke them. Shu, the air, Tefnut, the moisture, and they were given form. Shu and Tefnut embraced their father Atum, then left him to explore the limits of the noon. Alone once more in the dark waters of the noon. In his mind's eye, Atum watched the children lose strength as they ventured too far. Atum took the divine power of his eye and sent it to light their way home. Atum could not be without the light of his eye. A new eye grew in its place, and in this new eye, Atum saw the return of his children. When the first eye returned, she was in fury at the one who had taken her place and tried to destroy it. But Atum placed her on his brow as his royal protector. In his heart, Atum created the first dry land, the mound, and with his children, Shu and Tevnut, brought it into being. From the mound, Atum spoke the name of his soul bird, Bennu, the phoenix. Bennu landed on the first dry land and laid his egg. Which was the lotus bud of the dawn of creation. From the heart of the lotus were born the many forms of the sun god, the divine light. Atum joined with the light of his creation, and Ra came into being. The light of Ra dispelled the darkness of the noon. On the mound, Shu and Tefnut gave rise to Geb, the earth, and Nut, the starry night sky. Nut swallowed Ra, who came between her and the embrace of her brother Earth. Together Geb and Nut conceived 5 children, but they could not be born till Shu, the air, raised his daughter, the night sky, from the earth, so that the star children could break free. The star children were Osiris, god of the corn and of renewal, and his sisters Isis and Nephthys, and their jealous brother Set. Osiris was beloved of his sisters, but Set claimed Nephthys for his own. Osiris and Isis were lovers. Osiris lay as the earth, full of seeds, and Isis nourished the seeds. From the divine corn sprang the first seeds of creation, which landed in the black earth, and the land of Egypt came into being. Isis drew down the waters of the heavenly Nile to give life to the land of Egypt. The waters rose, and Osiris called forth the first garden. Osiris and Isis were lord and queen of this divine garden, and their sister Nephthys came to be with them there. But Set was jealous of the creative powers of Osiris and of the love Nephthys bore him. He blasted the garden with a raging sandstorm, turning the good black earth into dirt. Set wanted also to destroy his brother Osiris, and they fought. When Osiris rested in his form of Lord of the Corn, Set cut him to pieces. And scattered the pieces to the four corners of Egypt. One piece of Osiris fell in the waters of the Nile and was swallowed by a fish. But the rest were gathered up by Isis and Nephthys, who sprinkled the dismembered body of their brother with the water of life. Isis invoked the jackal-headed god Anubis, lord of embalming, to come and restore the form of Osiris. Anubis tightly bound the flesh of Osiris and created the first mummy, which was covered by the first coffin. Isis sent her sister and Anubis away so that she could be alone with Osiris. She transformed herself into a kite, and with her wings fanned life into Osiris, and through her magic restored to him for one night only the vitality of his manhood. They embraced once more, and their son Horus was conceived. Set learned of the conception of this son and came to disrupt the union. But Isis escaped. She flew to the hidden waters of the delta to keep her unborn child safe from the destructive powers of Set. and Horus was born. As he grew, Isis told Horus of the death of his father at the hand of his own brother. And Horus vowed to avenge Osiris. Horus faced Set, two equally balanced forces, and they fought. Horus took the divine form of falcon, and Set transformed himself through all the aspects of his nature to find a form which would conquer Horus. The eyes of Horus were the sun and the moon. Set destroyed the moon, and all was in darkness. Horus broke free. And hunted Set through the length of Egypt with his divine harpoon. But in the end, there was no victor. Horus and Set were too evenly matched. So they called upon Thoth, Lord of sacred knowledge and keeper of the scales of justice, to pronounce upon the winner. The hearts of Horus and Set spoke of all things, and the divine scales could not settle on a balance. Atum was called upon to be the final judge. Set could not resist a last attack on Horus. And the royal protector of Atum dispelled him, leaving Horus as the chosen one. Horus was crowned, the first pharaoh of the land of Egypt. And with the help of his mother Isis, raised up Osiris and performed the rites of the dead. Horus opened the mouth of Osiris to let in the breath of life. Osiris was transfigured. And in his resurrected form became the lord of the underworld. Through his resurrection, Osiris brought divine truth and new life. Lighting the underworld as Ra lights the heavens. The light of Ra. The light of Osiris is swallowed by the divine mother of night. At each dawn, she gives birth once more to the sun, the light and the life of Egypt.
O Ra, let your rays descend. Let your divine spirit fill the queen. Let her conceive. O Ra, let the queen breathe in the spirit of life. Let her see the twin souls of the divine pharaoh take form on the potter's wheel. Let her conceive. O Ra, let the queen see Isis on her journey to the delta. Let her be present at the birth of Horus. Let her be full of her divine child. O Ra, let the gods of childbirth attend at the queen's chamber. Let Isis protect the queen in her confinement. Let the pharaoh be born. Let the child go to his father to be blessed, so that he may receive his divine nature from the breath of Ra. Let the child be suckled, his human nature by his mother queen, his divine nature by Lady Isis. Let the baby pharaoh keep his divine nature.
May the divine child grow at his mother's breast till he comes of age. And the priest comes to take the young pharaoh to the temple, so that he may come to learn of the mysteries. The columns of the temple rise at the priest's command, like papyrus from the waters of the noon. The young pharaoh enters the temple, and he grows in learning of the mysteries of the creation and the passions of the gods. In the still of the inner temple, the priests of Horus and Thoth cleanse the young pharaoh with the pure waters of life, so that he may approach the shrine of the god.
O Ra, give a sign so that the Pharaoh may be confirmed.
Pharaoh is blessed. He is the divine Horus, first of the pharaohs at the beginning of time.
Let Isis and Nephthys bring down the divine crown of Osiris. Let them bring down the double crown of North and South. May the land of Egypt be united and the people rejoice. May Osiris bless the land with corn.
The Pharaoh is Horus, who raises his father Osiris and gives him life, and gives life to the land of Egypt.
Let the Pharaoh go in procession through the land of Egypt. What the sun encircles is under his care. Let the sacred Nile take the boat of the Pharaoh through the land of Egypt.
He makes the Nile rise. He makes the land green.
O divine Horus, protect the Pharaoh from the dark powers of Set. Let your divine harpoon strike the enemy of the Pharaoh. Let the Pharaoh be in the first garden. Let him cut the first corn.
The body of Osiris is cut. The body of the Pharaoh is cut in the cornfield, while the Pharaoh dies. He goes to join the horizon. The soul bird of the Pharaoh flies from him, and the Pharaoh is dead.
Let Horus and Thoth cleanse the body of the Pharaoh. O Ra, let Set not take the body of the Pharaoh. Come to the Pharaoh, O Lord of Embalming. O Anubis, let the Pharaoh be preserved. Let Anubis take the intestines of the Pharaoh and place them in the jar of Kebsenweth. Let the stomach of the Pharaoh be in the jar of Duamutef. Let the lungs be in the jar of Hapi. Let the liver be with Imseti.
Pharaoh sleeps in his death and he dreams. He dreams of the first time, of Atum and Apep in the waters of the Noon. And he is as Atum, the first spirit, the first flesh. And Atum in the depths of the Noon sees all things in his divine eye. All times, all places are as one. Atum sees the flesh of Osiris, and the god Anubis binding him tightly. The Osiris Pharaoh has his mouth opened, his senses are restored, and he is given breath. The Pharaoh lies in his coffin, and his soul bird departs to return to the Divine Father. And the soul of the Pharaoh joins Ra in his sunboat. In his boat of millions of years, Ra is swallowed by the night and descends to the rivers of the underworld. At the setting of the sun, Ra enters the caverns of the underworld. The god Mind, the thinking heart of Ra, stands in front of him. The serpent who guards the desert of the underworld swallows the light of the dying sun, and the sunboat of Ra enters the cavern of the great snake Sortesheret. Ra takes on his nightly form of flesh, and the protecting serpent Mehen envelops the ram-headed Ra in his coils. The guardian serpent of the first gate of the underworld challenges the great god in his journey. The god Mind says,
O Flameface, I know thy name. I have power over thee.
Mind says,
O gate shining one, I know thy name. Open the underworld for Ra. Throw open the doors for the one of the horizon.
those who lived in truth on earth are summoned to this gate.
O come to us, O light of the earth.
Ra speaks.
O you justified, the truth is yours that you may live.
O enemies of Ra, your evil deeds turn against you, and you are destined for the place of destruction.
All acts spring from the will of Ra. He sees all things. All thoughts are in the heart of Ra. The spirits of the justified dead join with the heart of Ra, and he gathers strength. In the darkness of the heart of Ra, the enemies are cut down. They are cast out.
O gate of sharp flames, I know thy name. Open thy doors for the one of the horizon.
Ra lightens the complete darkness and makes the hidden chamber bright.
The holy ones are in their shrines.
Open your shrine so that my rays may penetrate your darkness.
The doors close upon them when Ra has passed, and they wail forever. These are the gods in the lake of fire, which is refreshment to the just and destruction to the sinful.
Ra arrives at the barge of earth.
The barge of earth gives way before Ra. The barge of the underworld carries his forms.
Behold, he passes through the mysterious region. The earth quakes. The earth quakes.
The eye of Ra lights up the mysterious region. And awakens the hidden forms of the god within.
O serpent Apep, the great god Atum cuts thy foes. The flame comes out against thee from the mysterious region.
O stinging one, open thy doors for the one of the horizon.
Hail, Ra of the horizon!
These are the jackals round the lake of fire. The The souls of the dead dare not approach because of the holiness within. These are the guardians of the flame which destroys the enemies of Ra.
Listen, you goddesses of the hours. Swallow what the serpent Hereret gives birth to, and give order to chaos.
Osiris is in his shrine. The light of Ra awakens the limbs of Osiris. And Horus comes forth to raise the spirit of his father.
O flame-eyed, open thy doors for the one of the horizon.
O serpent Manu, whose coils surround Ra in the darkness, you shall not overcome him. Your forms are swallowed by the justified dead. And your coils are straightened by the gods who dwell in this gate.
The living cobra is in the pool of fire. The souls of the gods dare not approach. Ra embraces the elements, the earth, the waters, the fire, and the air. This is Ra who comes to rest in Osiris. This is Osiris who comes to rest in Ra. The soul of the pharaoh is alone in the underworld. He approaches the guardians of the gateway.
Tekesnet behetui F.
Let the pharaoh pass.
Sepet her.
Let the pharaoh pass.
Where?
Let the pharaoh pass. The pharaoh confesses.
O swallower of shades, I have not stolen. O breaker of bones, I have not lied. O dangerous one, I have not killed men. O Nefertum, I have done no wrong. I have seen no evil. I am pure. I am pure. I am pure.
This is the hall of the double marked, the hall of truth, where the goddess receives her own. heart of the pharaoh is set in the scales. And the feather of the goddess judges the balance.
The heart of the pharaoh is true, Thoth records. The gods are satisfied. O Osiris, bless the justified pharaoh. His heart is true.
The divine light envelops the pharaoh.
I am Osiris in the underworld. I am Ra in the heavens. I am Atum in the beginning, the first one and the last one.
At the darkest point of the night, the great snake Apep returns. And embraces Atum in his coils.
These are the gods who straighten the coils of Apep, removing his power.
Set and Horus are as one. Behold his two faces in the mysteries. In the womb of night, the great god is transformed. The great god of becoming emerges at the dawn. He is raised up by the noon.
and the light of Ra fills the world.
I thought that was really cool at the end, how it shows death and rebirth and the cycle happening over and over again. I have a fascination of creation myths. Every culture has it, a creation myth, and every religion does. And unfortunately, wars happen because other kingdoms want to have their religion as the ruling religion over the people. But it's consistently the same story. So for the next 2 little videos, they're not very long, we're going to go back to FPV, and FPV is going to give us the explanation into the reality of the gates and the process of the sun and the cycles that it goes through. FPV always has some good music to his videos. It's going to go a little techno on y'all. This one is called Angel in the Sky. Let's read this description. It says, a musical video of the recent research we've been working on in the end times, Revelations and Prophecies 2 video. So he's going to show you the gates that the sun is going to go through, just like we just saw in the animation of the last little movie. These are the different angels. These are the different volcanoes. These are the different constellations that are going to line up.
The angel in the sky.
Right now, the volcanoes are stirring and they're getting ready to pop off. We're getting evacuations happening because the Earth is trying to release all of this electromagnetism because the sun is coming into a different cycle. And we're also experiencing what they're calling a pole reversal, which is that the sun is going to go into a different gate. We're going to reverse the energies. These angels are what he also calls the particle accelerators. And according to FPV, they are part of the Creator's creation. So places like CERN are not made by man. They claim that they have, but they've hijacked it. And these angels are turning on. And that's why we're having intense, crazy weather. The flooding, the earthquakes, the volcano eruptions. It's a cyclical event. The Vedas also tell us of these events. Revelations tells us of these events. Okay, here we go. We're going to do our last video for the night. Hope you guys have enjoyed the last two videos.
Time had come to start reconstructing the angels. After all the decodings and understanding of them and some deep thought, I decided to consult with a titan named Atlas. who corrected me about a great many things. After our conversation, I thanked him and I was on my way. I had learned what Atlas's burden was. First, a quick recap from Jason on what is taking place in the torus field we decoded in a previous video.
Energy and mass are two states of the same thing. What we call atoms are equal and opposite electric charges held apart by a magnetic dipole. The energy is held in the atom as potential that we associate with mass. When the toroidal magnetic field collapses into the ecliptic, the negative charges are no longer bound and collapse into the positive charges. When the charges meet, a wave of energy is formed equal to the mass of the charges multiplied by the speed of light squared. The squaring is due to the fact that mass and energy are inverse properties of electromagnetism. Where the mass is equal in value to the inverse of the speed of light, the energy is equal to the speed of light. 1 over c times c squared equals c over 1. 1 over c and c over 1 are inverse to each other. Inside the magnetic dipole, the positive charges are held in the center diamond. The negative charges are held in orbits perpendicular to the magnetic field. When the magnetic field collapses into the ecliptic, the two opposed charges form an electric dipole, which quickly implodes on itself due to the fact that the charges are now free of their magnetic restraints. We know what happens when two opposite charges contact each other. We see it in cosmic ray showers. The two opposing charges annihilate each other and become radiation energy. Mass and energy are inverse properties of electromagnetism. Energy becomes mass again when it is subjected to a strong enough magnetic field to reform the magnetic dipole.
Now we can reconstruct the angels with knowledge already gained, the Walter Russell motor and its science, which is based on the science of the ancients. This is what I would call an angel in its most basic form. Walter was an absolute genius. Walter's science was given to him by an angel he always maintained. I bet you didn't know that, did you? From Walter's chart, this design is a fusion reactor. Notice the venturis that help compress water. This is where a manufactured torus field is created, very much the same as an antenna works. This area is where there is a back pressure, and this is what generates the torus field on this motor. This one is a fission reactor. Looking at the design, it would appear daisy chaining them together would make sense. Walter terms them radar antennas. The vertical lines represent the pressure zones or venturis on the poles. Also notice water compresses to become fire and fire expands to become water. This renders the second law of thermodynamics as invalid. It is another man-made block designed to stop you progressing. Every researcher you know, including mainstream, will only talk about the effects, as they do not have the answer to the cause, or can never speak of the cause. Today you will get to see the cause of a great many things. This image of Walter's is also relevant to what I am about to show you. Now we will electromagnetically switch the nodes to cause them to accelerate the flow inside the halo. This, of course, is alternating current, which will cause the fluid in the halo to rotate around the halo as it accelerates. The nodes on the halo will get to a certain momentum speed and cause the poles to flip, as Walter's image shows. As you know, magnetism and electricity are always 90 degrees in opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what that actually looks like in the visible spectrum on a creator-side scale. You are seeing the electromagnetic projection of a positive electrical sphere, which is basically trapped within a magnetic field. This is electromagnetism. This is cubing the sphere, not squaring the circle. Remember, we are working in 3D, and you are looking at a torus field that it creates. This is effectively an electric dipole, as I decoded in our Angels Decoded video and previous videos. It is now harvesting electricity from the dielectric, and that energy is being utilized at the heart of the Angel technology and put to use for whatever its intended purpose is, which relates to world mechanics, alchemy, magnetism, electricity, and creation, as you see on the Walter Russell chart. The colours become inverted due to the division of the sex pairs, the positives and negatives in each band of the electromagnetic light spectrum. So you only see the colours your vision allows, but you can be sure they emanate beyond these colours and frequencies which can be seen in this chart. The dark band that you see in between these colours is called the Alexander band. It is the actual projection of the halo itself. The Angel's halo, to be precise. It is now the positive of the electric dipole. The colours encircle the halo and revolve with the flow inside, which is controlled by electromagnetic switching from the various pairs of poles we call nodes. As we have mentioned before, time-lapse rainbows, and you will see how they revolve. This is their arc. The orange half sphere you see below double rainbows is this electromagnetic field. This is the signature of one of our angels. The sphere of that halo is being cubed. These are all connected and working together in this matrix of angel technology. All timed and synced events working 24/7, each of which is a revolving Tower of Babel, which simply means the mixing of the positives and negatives, which is what they are designed to do. The Celtic tree of life represents these processes. All tree of life symbology represents the same processes, and our ancestors all knew this very well. This information is what your holy books and creation stories are trying to tell you. Man has corrupted it to hide and steal it. Genesis 9:10-16 is related to this exact process, as all angels operate the same way. Now you can see the duality of this technology. The effects of electromagnetism cause the halo to create a projection of itself in the heavens, which reverses its flow of direction back to the physical angel halo below. These are what create tornadoes and waterspouts. They are a visible part of this process. We have something very special to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and an absolute pleasure to present to you Adam, Eve, the apple, and the snake. Adam is the smaller halo and represents the positive part of the electric dipole, and Eve represents the larger magnetic part of the dipole. The apple is their combined positive and negative electromagnetic torus fields, and the snake is the compression of smaller dipoles from the ether being channeled within its field, which of course is what is generating electricity as it divides and multiplies in this rotating Tower of Babel we call a vortex. The mixing together of many smaller electric dipoles, thus creating more positives and negatives as they are compressed and make that electrical signature we call lightning, dividing and multiplying as they arc in all directions from their source of origin, the combined electromagnetic halos of Adam and Eve. Their spiraling pressure waves emanating outwards, spiraling into even more electric dipoles in our atmosphere, radiating outwards and electrically charging everything within its path. The spiraling pressure waves of electromagnetism. This is the breath of angels. The word wind represents the windings, as scripture mentions. Those windings in the sky, created by angel technologies that even Ezekiel tried his best to describe. A wheel in a wheel. The eyes are round about it, which is in relation to the nodes and their motions. The Vesica Pisces, the scarab beetle, Buddha, and all those other depictions of the Creator's tools. The angels are the Creator's tools of creation. This is the Genesis machine. You live on top of the Genesis machine. And this is how Adam and Eve create their torus fields. They create it, maintain it, and destroy it, which of course releases all those positives and negatives to create the signature of God creating lightning. Thank you, Atlas. It is a great honor to share your burden with the tribes of the world. This is your creation story, people. These are the angel technologies of a creator that has been hidden from you, so that greedy people can steal their glory from right below your feet. This knowledge and information is not copyright to any race, religion, group, or nation. It is the birthright of every human being.
There are moments that I watch some of his videos and it's brought tears to my eyes because I just feel so connected to the information that he's sharing, and it feels like it's a memory, and I sigh and I go, okay, that's it makes perfect sense to me, and I feel like I remember. We I've been drawing these torus fields and these swirls and these crosses my whole entire life in my own artwork. Um, and to me, that's how I know that there's something to all of this. It's not just someone making this up on their own. This is sacred information that gets passed on, and there are those who are in tuned and work really hard to understand it. The Book of Enoch also speaks about all of this. But I wanted to show you China's firework show this year. Same thing, they're telling us this. See that? And then I wanted to show this to you as well. Darn it, clicked the wrong thing. On my channel, I follow the weather and the natural phenomenon that happens, but this was in January, and this was in Sweden. This was in Utah, and this was in January. So if Revelations tells you in the end times, when things are getting ready to reset itself, that the Creator's creation will reveal itself to you again, I can't help but be a little bit aware of a self-reflection and working on myself and letting go of past issues in my life and healing within. And just make sure to tell those that I love and I care about that I love you. Because it's going to be an interesting next. If we're seeing these signs now, who knows? I don't know. 5, 10, 20 years, not quite sure. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope to see you all again soon. I'm going to show more videos on frequency, vibration, and magnetism these next streams. Take care, and may many blessings be upon all of you.